The first time that I actually cooked in Greece, I had been there several times on vacation, and Ross and I moved there, my husband and I. And it was his 30th birthday, and I wanted to have a big party with his entire family because he hadn't grown up around his entire family. He grew up in South Africa, he would visit Greece, and I thought it would be a nice treat to have his entire family show up and have a birthday party for him. So we went to the summer house of his father, which was about an hour outside of Athens. And everybody brought food. Everybody was responsible for making a specific dish. And nobody made the Greek potatoes. So I said to his stepmother, "The potatoes, we need the potatoes. That's one of his favorite things to eat." And she said, "So make the potatoes." I said, "I don't know how to make the potatoes. I do know how to cook, but I had never cooked Greek food before." So kind of with a roll of the eyes, "Oh, the potatoes are so simple. All you do," and she started explaining to me, "It's the lemon, it's the potatoes, a little of this, a little of that. Put it in the oven for such and such amount of time, and it's done." So she just kind of rushed through it. So his stepmother showed me some of the ingredients that needed to go in there, and she just quickly threw everything together and stuck it in the oven. Like that was my first lesson. I tried to pay attention, but her English wasn't very good. And the visual just wasn't enough under that pressure to learn how to make them. But I got the basics, and I tried. And then came one of his aunts, and she taught me how to make Greek potatoes her way. Same ingredients, slightly different ratio of everything that went in it. And then his father one time came over for dinner and said, "Oh, no, you need to make the potatoes red. They need to be red." And I said, "I don't understand. Do we need red potatoes?" No, you need to make the potatoes red in the oven." I didn't understand the language that making the potatoes red was the equivalent of browning the potatoes. So from him, I learned how to cook the potatoes until they were soft and then brown them afterward. His mother had another way of making them. And I took a combination of all the different moms, the fathers, the aunts, the grandmas, and I put together what I thought was the perfect Greek potatoes. I went to visit, one of the teachers was a woman that I went to visit in a village who lives on a farm, and they had goats and olives. They actually had an olive oil farm. And one night, all the men disappeared. They went to the local taverna, which I didn't know that was a thing. And the women stayed home and ironed. And they all gathered together at one home. And they cooked a meal and gossiped and ironed the men's clothes while they were out drinking and having fun at the taverna. So I also learned to make Greek potatoes from this lady, and she used the best olive oil I have ever tasted in my life. And her potatoes tasted a little bit better than anybody else. And I found through that the ingredients matter. The best olive oil you can use, Greek oregano if you can use it, good salt, because the ingredients are simple. And that is one of the keys to Greek cooking, is simple ingredients, quality ingredients, and the more simple you keep it, the better it tastes. So I'm going to show you my favorite recipe of how to make Greek potatoes. I hope you'll try them. They're simple, they're delicious, and I don't think there's a Greek person in all of Greece that hasn't eaten Greek potatoes at one point or another. Whether they're with appetizers, main dish, something at a taverna where you're just having a couple of drinks with a friend, Greek potatoes are always on the table. So give it a try. An essential ingredient for Greek potatoes is, of course, the lemons. You can add more or less to your taste, but you need to use fresh lemons. Next, I'm going to peel the potatoes and put them directly in the casserole dish that I'm using. You can use whatever potatoes you like. I am using Yukon Gold today, which happens to be my favorite. Traditionally, the potatoes are peeled when making these lemon potatoes, but you can make them and leave the skins on. It's entirely up to you. Just make sure that you wash them first. And you can cut them in a variety of shapes. Just consistency is the key so that they cook evenly. They're cut anywhere from long to cut in half, quarters. This is the way that I like to cut them. This is the way that I was taught to make them. And so that's the way I'm going to make them. I'm adding the olive oil, Greek extra virgin olive oil.
Not too much.
You can't find Greek, use what you can find, but the best olive oil you can find. Now I'm adding the lemons. Next I'm going to add oregano, which you need to crush to bring out the flavor. Looks like a lot of oregano, but believe me, it's needed. Kosher salt. Just a small pinch of pepper, freshly ground. And then I'm going to add enough water just to almost cover the potatoes. And what that's going to do is keep some of that nice juiciness when you're serving the potatoes. Give it a good stir. Make sure everything is well blended in there. And now it's ready to go in the oven.